This market is such a fantastic venue for all of us down here. It's grown. I'm happy to be a part of it. Made great friends down here, and introduced my product to the public, and now I travel with the product, but I wouldn't miss down here for anything. Even during bad weather, I show up. My name is Scott King. I am the pretzel guy, and we do make 5 flavors of pretzels. They're all hard pretzels with my recipes on there. I have one called original. It's kind of a Tex-Mex flavor on it. Then I have one that's cinnamon sugar, tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I have one that's Sweet Heat that the baseball team actually named. I couldn't think of the name of it, so the GM came down and said, let's call it Sweet Heat, so I like it. And then I make a barbecue as well, and then during the winter I make a dark chocolate peppermint. I do a Facebook page because the comments that the people make on my Facebook page from Amarillo that sampled it here, and they made the positive comments about it, has boosted my product sales, just off the comments from the people that I sell to.
The market brought back people to Polk Street on Saturday morning. Before then, Saturday morning was dead down here. And because we have the market, now all the restaurants have a brunch or a lunch business on Saturday. So in that way, we knew it was going to be an economic engine. But what we didn't know is that some of these vendors would be able to launch their business by being at the market. I know one of the first years we had a woman who did those acai bowls and the fresh fruit. Now she has a storefront. We have Sweet Revenge Mustard. Larry Brown, the mustard man, he's in the bright yellow mustard tent every day. And what's so great, now he's in stores like Pack-A-Sack. His products are being used at Hodgetown, at the stadium.
We have it in where all the mustard and the ketchup and everything is at the sod pools, but they also have it upstairs in the suites too. So it's got it up there, and there's, they have a Wednesday night, they have $1 hot dog. They go through between 3,000 and 4,000 hot dogs a day during game day on that. So a lot of mustard being put on those hot dogs. Well, I started making it probably about 18 years ago, and making it in the house and making it in the old ball pint jars. I'd make it for Christmas gifts, and then I got to where people were really wanting it. We make it here in Amarillo. We make it at the West Texas Enterprise Center. They have a commercial kitchen out there, and we do all the packaging, the cooking, the labeling, and then after we do that, then we bring it to the community market, and then we also got quite a few places in town that handle it for us. We've got about 28 different places here in Amarillo. We also have it in Midland, we got it in Childress, we got it in Bushland. This is our 3rd year here at the market, and it seems to be getting better and better every year. Beth Dig does a fantastic job of getting everything going.
About 4 years ago, a group of young people went to then city manager Terry Childers and said that they wanted to start a community market for Amarillo. And so Terry called me and said, if we start this, it should be in Center City. It should be downtown. So I went to a meeting with the founders, who were Lindsay Venozzi, Tim Ingalls, and Carly Dumanel, city manager Childers, and me. This was in May, and I really thought I was writing a business plan for the next fiscal year, which would start October 1. Well, I wrote the business plan, gave it to city manager, and he said, when can you start?
And it seems to grow every week. New people come out every week, so it's not the same people every week. So that definitely helps, especially in the candle business where you aren't going to buy a candle every week, you might buy one every month.
We started that first year on July 9th with 35 vendors. And I'm proud to say that when we opened this year, our 4th season, we had 120 approved vendors. And everything is locally grown, produced, baked, created within a 150-mile radius. But in full transparency, we do allow Colorado cherries and peaches, and nobody's complained yet.
We're teaming up with Colorado Peaches guy, and so he's got it in about 30-something different stands, so we're excited about that.
The vendors out here are so helpful to each other. We talk back and forth, and Peace, Love, and Cookies now uses my jelly and their thumbprints, and sometimes we trade. My name's Janine Udy, and this is our jelly and jam company called Jam That's Good. We make about 22 different flavors, based on the time of year because we try to use the freshest fruit we can get and the most local fruit we can get. Obviously, we can't grow pineapples here, but we get a lot of the fresh fruit locally, and so the recipe is not that difficult. It's just a matter of changing the fruit.
I think the vendors have supported us because we've intentionally kept our fees very low. Center City really is the backup for the market, and we cover a lot of the overhead, the rentals, the insurance, all those kind of things. So we can keep those prices really low. And those vendors are getting a fabulous crowd of about 600 shoppers every Saturday morning and paying very low fees.
If you are a small local business, especially if you don't have a good avenue to sell your product, this is so worth it. But just the booth rent space here is so reasonable that you make it. We made ours back the first day for the whole season. So definitely, if you're a small business, it's worth it. We started Fenwick's 2018, and it really just came out of, we like to travel a lot, and when we travel, I would always purchase candles, and then sometimes I would be disappointed because they didn't smell as good as I wanted them to, so I just said, I'm going to see if I can do this on my own, just make them for us. And then he said, you could sell these. They smell really good. So somehow that turned into, I need to put his face on the candles because he already had a huge following on Facebook just because he's a big personality, and it just worked. His name, Finn Wicks, it just all worked out perfectly. We do not have a storefront. We have an Etsy store, but it's hard to sell something that you need to smell, on the internet unless people know what they want. And so this is our biggest time to sell is at the market.
We have an application fee that starts in about February. People can start to apply, and they have to send in an application and photos of their work if it's arts and crafts, or they have to explain to us that the product is locally sourced or grown. And we have a leadership team that's made up of our staff and our vendor, a few select vendors, and we look at everything to make sure that it's original. And of course, we understand you may not be able to buy the t-shirt locally, but it needs to be screen printed locally or embroidered locally or in some way significantly transformed so we can conclude it's original.
I strongly encourage anybody that thinks they may have found a niche and something that they can do to come out here and sell it. Come out here and try. Come out here and buy from each other. We do a lot of trading and buying, and so it's a great experience. And if you have that marketing bug in you, come try.
Every one of our markets, we have live music, local musicians. We have either yoga or Zumba. Every week, we try to have a fitness activity here on the beautiful lawn. We've had knitting circles. The library has done reading circles. We just try to do anything to get people involved. I think the allure is that it's a laid-back atmosphere on a Saturday morning, and you can just wander in and out, and most people end up spending money.